Okay, so now we're going to install our new parts, our new oil seal, new O-ring, new oil seal. So we'll spray a little WD on there, and that just kind of aids. You can do polish. That just aids, makes it a little bit easier to put everything on. Okay, first we're going to start with our dust cover. Alright, as you can see, you know how that goes. Alright, so we'll pop that on there, and then it just goes right over. We want to make sure we get over that little lip, and that's why we have that bullet to prevent that. So we'll slide that down, then we'll put our snap ring in there, and then, like I say, take heat to your oil seal. Look at this spring, and that faces downward because the oil is going to go inside that other part. So take that, all right, and as you can see, you laid it out, so you exactly know how it goes on. Then you take that. Sometimes they can want to fight you, but don't let it. Just take your time. Okay, now slide that down, right? Because we got over our seals. So now you can slide that one down. At this point, you don't need to bull it, so we can remove that. Alright, now we'll put this washer on, and we'll do our next washer, alright, which slides over, and then we'll grab the last one, which sits in that groove. Simply bring it over, and it snaps right into place. Okay, so you're done with that. Alright, so here's where you'll need your fork driver. We have one from Motion Pro. It's a 48 millimeter because that's what's recommended. All right, for Yamaha. All right, so now we'll simply slide this in. Okay. All right, and the first thing we're going to do is those washers. Okay. So now you'll see they're set. Okay, so you'll take your fork seal driver, right, what you have in your hand now, trying to get it to just slot like that. Okay, and it has. So now simply just going to push down until you start doing it slowly, and you'll hear it. And then it'll go and make sure it's straight, and you'll hear it just snap like that. Okay, so you know that's already in there. You just give it a couple more taps, make sure you move this around. Okay. Is the oil seal. Okay. All right. So now we'll slide the oil seal down. Okay. We'll get our seal driver again. Set that like that. Now we're going to do the oil seal. Okay. And all you're looking to do is pop this in there. Slide it down with the driver until you see the grooves for the snap ring. Okay? You don't need to bang it super hard. You're just looking for that groove, okay? You don't have to hit it hard and hard. Okay? And pretty much it's past that groove already, so we'll give it a couple more just for good luck. see? All right. And we're now done with that. Okay, and like I say, we can see that groove in there. Now we're going to bring the snap ring down, and we're going to put that snap ring in that groove, like so. Let the fork leg drop it on you. Two. Okay. We can grab our flathead and we'll simply try that down, and you'll hear it snap just like that. See? Heard it just snap into place. Okay. Just like that. Dust cover up. And sometimes this just kind of pops on its own. Just like that. And this one did. Or because it's brand new. Alright. So that's now on. Okay. Okay. So, and that's a fork tube right there in a nutshell. So we've just replaced the seal. And now this one is completely done. So we'll set the tube. We'll set all that down. Okay, so now we're going to disassemble the cartridge. Okay, so we can get the oil out of there. This is from RockyMountain.com. It's a Tusk cap thing. It's like a 3-in-1 tool that comes with this. And on the Yamaha, you will positively need this, because this just sits right like this. And then you put your 19mm on top of that. Okay, now to disassemble this, you'll need your cap screw, cap wrench, okay, to hold that. Alright, don't worry if that goes down. And then here, you go like this, alright. Okay. Surprisingly, this one wasn't too tight, it was snug, that's how it should be. Okay, you can hear it get looser on its own. Alright, there you go. So, okay, that's done. That's done. Now you can move your cap wrench. And now we're going to drain the oil out of here. Typically in here is at 200 cc. You'll just want to pop that off like that. Yeah, some oil's going to go some places, and then set it in there. Okay, now the oil will come right out. See? Okay, and then you can use your dampening rod, kind of squeeze and get that oil out of there. Alright. Then here, we're going to take our ratio right. And like I said, our book, the Yamaha 08 book, calls for 199 cc. Okay, I'll show you guys that later. Alright, and here we have Maxima fork oil 85 to 150, which is 5 weight. We like to use this stuff. You can go heavier if you want. We just go standard. Okay, it calls for 200, so it's going to come out anyway. So we put 200 in there because that's what it calls for, and it's at 200. Okay, so your rod here, you want fully extended downward when you fill this, okay? Alright. So it's 2 cc, so now simply just going to pour this in here, like so. I mean, you can pour more in here. Like I say, when you put that color back on there, it's all going to come back out anyway. Some of it's going to drip back out. So now we want to prime this. We want to get the air out. So, and you can start, you'll start feeling it, okay? Okay. It's already starting to harden up. Normally, this probably takes anywhere from 5 to, 20 times. You'll feel it get really hard. It's already, see, it's starting to build its pressure, okay? See, you just heard. All right, now that's done. So now we're gonna put this piece here. I'm gonna put this collar back in, okay? And it's gonna wanna squirt some oil out, okay? So don't worry about that, okay? You don't need to push this in there, you know, you really will. So, well, what I like to do is I like to grab my top cap piece. This is how I like to do it. Okay. Then I simply, I'm not worried about that oil. Like I say, it's all going to come out.